Johnny Dollar.
Don Pinkley, Johnny. At Surety Mutual Insurance.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's right. Still down here in New Orleans.
How are you, Don?
I'm just fine, Johnny, fine. But, as usual, when I call you, I got a small problem. And Longerson.
Boxing?
Yes, sir. Don't you remember? Last time you came down here after you wound up the case, you and I took in a boxing match.
Seems to me I won a fast $20 from you that night on an Italian kid who called himself Touchy Tarantino.
That's right.
That boy was a fighter with a real future.
Not anymore, Johnny.
Which is why you covered your losses by selling him a $25,000 policy. What was that crack about his future?
I'm afraid he has none, Johnny.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Suicide or murder.
What happened to him?
Nothing, Johnny. Not yet.
But you think something will?
Like I said, either suicide or murder.
Well, which and why?
Fly on down here and I'll tell you. Okay?
Kellogg's All Brand.
What do you get in Kellogg's All Brand? Reliability.
Right. Hi, this is Dennis James to explain why Kellogg's Way is the reliable way to get the effectiveness you want from bran with just half a cup a day. See, Kellogg's All Brand is the real Battle Creek formula, the one that millions of people depend on. And they depend on it because Kellogg's All Brand contains more vital bran bulk to help you keep regular. It's low in calories, and it's mighty pleasant eating, too. Kellogg's All Brand comes in crisp, toasted shreds that have a wholesome bran muffin taste. I think you'll like it. So be sure you remember, for the effectiveness you want from Bran, get reliable Kellogg's All Bran.
That's what you get in Kellogg's All Bran. Reliability.
Martinez's little pal, Jose, whatever his name was, had suggested there in that hotel room that I mind my own business, go back to the States. And that's exactly where I found myself when I came to. On top of a rubbish heap, somewhere on the outskirts of Brownsville, Texas. Minus my gun, of course. Howie